Have you ever watched a short film and afterwards it feels like you wasted 5 to 10 minutes of your life? Perhaps you're left with the feeling of, what was the point in that? That might be because the short film that you watched didn't nail the theme it's trying to portray. Theme is the hidden heartbeat driving every emotional beat and moment on the screen. In this video, I'll unpack why theme is important and how it can elevate your story from simple story to a resonant experience. So, what is a theme? Theme is your story's underlying message or central idea. It's not what happens, because that's the plot, but why it matters. Some examples of themes include identity, grief, justice, resilience, or belonging. Think of theme as the emotional and philosophical lens you're using to explore the character and the world. So a couple of examples of themes. A grieving father reconnects with his past through unexpected grief. The themes of this are healing and acceptance. Another example is a refugee in a new city struggles to find a home. Themes of this are belonging and displacement. And finally, a bullied kid discovers their own strength. This is identity and self-worth. Themes give your story meaning beyond events. They invite your audience to think, to feel, and to reflect. I want to look at the short film Rock, Paper, Scissors, whose theme centers on the human cost of war, focusing on psychological trauma and resilience in the face of an invasion and loss. So why is theme important? Well, theme gives your film emotional depth, so viewers don't forget it. And a good theme taps into universal feelings such as love, fear, loss, belonging, identity. And this allows your film to resonate with people long after the credits roll. Without a strong theme, your story might be visually slick. You might have the best equipment in the world, the best lighting, the best sound. But afterwards, the audience might be thinking, cool, but what was the point? With a clear theme, your story will leave a lasting impression. You want people to walk away having felt something. Like when a story about a mother packing her son's lunchbox suddenly becomes about letting go. If we look at the example, The Silent Child, this story just isn't about a deaf girl. It's about communication, isolation, and the right to be heard. That emotional core is what people remember. It's also important because it creates creative coherence. All scenes should reflect your theme. When you know your theme, it acts like the compass for your storytelling choices. It will influence character arcs, visual style, music, dialogue, literally everything. And a strong theme allows you to trim the fat. You will know what fits and what doesn't. Once you know your theme, scenes stop being random or just cool ideas. They serve a purpose, reinforcing a message and an idea. For example, if your theme is grief, even in quiet moments, like a character avoiding a dining table chair, can echo that idea. It doesn't need to be said aloud, it just needs to be felt consistently. The third reason why it's important is because it attracts festivals and judges who look for stories with meaning. Programmers watch hundreds of short films. Cool cinematography or slick editing might impress them, but a story with a strong thematic message makes them care. Many top festivals look for what is relevant, thoughtful, or emotionally impactful, not just technically impressive. A short film with a clear theme says this filmmaker knows what they're trying to say. For example, the short film Wren Boys explores masculinity, justice, and hypocrisy. Themes that give its rural Irish setting weight just beyond its location and conflict. And the fourth reason why it matters, it helps you connect with an audience on a deeper level, not just an entertainment level. Entertainment is great, but emotional connection is what builds an audience. Theme is how you take your personal story and make it universal. It's how someone from a completely different background can say, I can see myself in that. For example, a short film about two teenagers trying to steal some trainers can become deeply emotional if it's about economic survival and brotherhood. And your theme brings that meaning forward. With a theme, you go beyond just telling a story, you're starting a conversation. And finally, without a theme, your story might look good and move fast, but feel shallow and forgettable. With a theme, your story becomes cohesive, compelling, and emotionally powerful. Here's how you can define your theme. Number one, you have to ask yourself, what is your story really about? This isn't about the plot or what happens, but the emotional or philosophical question underneath it. You need to ask yourself, what issue or idea am I exploring? What emotion is at the core of the film? What do I want the audience to feel or to reflect on by the end? And here's some examples of some underlying questions that you can use for your short film. Can people truly change? What does it mean to forgive someone? Is love stronger than fear? What does justice really look like? And if you're still struggling, then maybe try and ask yourself this. Why did I want to tell the story in the first place? Your personal reason for writing it often points directly at the theme. So number 2, you should identify your protagonist's arc. What do they learn or discover? Your protagonist's emotional journey often reveals the theme. So you should look at how do they change from the beginning of the story compared to the end of the story. What do they realize? Is it something internal, external? And this change usually answers the central question. For example, in a film about a lonely man who builds a robot, but then he pushes it away, his arc might be about learning that vulnerability is necessary for connection. And the theme is emotional intimacy and fear of rejection. Another example, a teen caught between two cultures slowly stops hiding their identity. The theme is self-acceptance and cultural identity. And a quick tip about your protagonist, a static protagonist can still reveal its theme, especially if everyone else changes around them or their lack of change leads to a tragedy. And my third tip for you for defining your theme, summarize the journey in one sentence. Write a simple sentence that describes what the story is really about, beyond the literal events. This is where you articulate the message or thesis of your film. If you haven't watched my logline video yet, head over to my channel and watch it after this video because I go into more detail about how to structure your one-line sentence. But for now, we can look at the formula. So when an inciting incident, a character must emotionally or narratively challenge, ultimately realizing that. So, for example, when a soldier returns home to find everything's changed, she must confront her past and adapt to a civilian life, ultimately realizing that healing isn't forgetting, it's reconciling with what's lost. And the theme there is healing and reconciliation. And just a quick tip, don't aim for perfection here. It's just for you to clarify for yourself. You're not writing a marketing line. And the more honest it is, the more powerful your theme will be. And my fourth tip today for defining your theme is check every scene. Does it support your theme symbolically or emotionally? This is where you align your structure, visuals, and dialogue with the theme. A film that truly explores its theme uses every element, not just plot points, to reinforce it. So in symbolism, are there objects, locations, or visual motifs that reflect the theme? For example, an empty chair for grief. In the dialogue, are characters discussing ideas that relate to the theme or indirectly expressing it through conflict? Decisions. Do key choices reflect the character wrestling with the central question? For example, if your theme is identity, make sure your character faces moments where they're forced to hide, reveal, or question who they are. And if a scene doesn't relate to the theme in some way, then ask yourself, can it be rewritten to serve the theme, or should it be cut? Defining your theme isn't about limiting your story, it's about strengthening it. The clearer you are about your theme, the more meaningful every beat, image, and line of dialogue becomes. Crafting a theme isn't just a writing exercise, it's your film's emotional engine. And focus on theme early and use it to guide plot, character, and tone. Viewers may forget details, but they won't forget what your short felt like. So please drop a comment below and let me know what theme you're exploring in your short film. And if this video helped you, then please hit the like button below. And if you really enjoyed the video, then please hit the subscribe button. Thanks for watching, I'll see you next week.